We look at these and we see nature's candy, a simple, sweet fruit, but within this tiny, deep blue sphere is an ancient intelligence. It holds a protective power that has been honed over millennia to defend life, your life. But what if the way you're eating them is accidentally disarming this power, turning this shield into something that offers little more than flavor? A few common pairings, habits we think of as healthy, are silently neutralizing the very gift these foods offer, particularly at a time in life when our bodies need it most. 99% of people focus on what they eat, but they completely miss the invisible chemistry of how their foods interact. The secret to transforming your food from mere substance into powerful medicine is revealed at the very end. Ignoring this could mean you're inadvertently sabotaging your own health defense system with every single meal. Innocent combination. There is a profound poetry written in the language of biology, and few things express this as beautifully as the common blueberry. Its deep, almost galactic color is not just an aesthetic flourish of nature, it is a visual signature of its protective potency. This vibrancy comes from a class of natural compounds known as anthocyanins, which are themselves a specific type of polyphenol. These are not passive nutrients. They are what we call bioactives, meaning they are designed to interact directly with our cellular machinery. They act as the vigilant guardians of our health, performing critical tasks that sustain us. They patrol our bodies, helping to shield our very DNA from the relentless daily barrage of environmental and metabolic damage that, over time, can lead to the kinds of errors in our genetic code that we want to avoid. This protective function is one of the pillars of healthy aging, helping to maintain our body's integrity from the most fundamental level upwards. The power of these bioactives extends deep into our circulatory system. They are fundamental to the health of the delicate lining of our countless blood vessels, a living tissue we call the endothelium. A healthy endothelium is flexible and smooth, allowing for optimal blood flow. Anthocyanins help support this. Furthermore, they help our body brilliantly regulate the process of angiogenesis, which is the growth of new blood vessels. This is a system of exquisite balance. It is at the heart of health, ensuring oxygen and nutrients are delivered precisely where needed for healing and maintenance, while simultaneously providing a crucial defense by cutting off the blood supply that abnormal cells might try to develop for their own growth. When you consume a simple bowl of blueberries, you are not merely having a snack. You are swallowing a set of biological instructions, activating and supporting your body's five core health defense systems. The profound tragedy, however, is that this entire magnificent process is remarkably fragile. The ability of these life giving compounds to be absorbed from our gut into our bloodstream, a property we scientifically term bioavailability, is not a given. It is critically dependent on the biochemical environment they encounter during digestion. And this is where the story takes an unexpected turn, beginning with one of the most classic and seemingly healthy pairings imaginable, dairy. A morning ritual for millions involves a bowl of Greek yogurt adorned with fresh blueberries or a smoothie whipped up with a splash of cow's milk. It's an image that marketing has sold us as the pinnacle of a wholesome start to the day. Yet the invisible chemistry tells a different and frankly disappointing story. The primary proteins found in dairy milk, known as caseins, possess a unique molecular architecture. They have an incredibly strong affinity for the polyphenols present in blueberries. When these casein proteins and blueberry polyphenols meet in the acidic environment of your stomach and then move into the intestine, they bind together, forming a complex molecule. This newly formed complex is too large and structurally unrecognizable for the transport channels in your intestinal wall to absorb. Think of it like a key that has been gummed up with putty. It no longer fits the lock, and the door to your bloodstream remains closed. The result of this inopportune binding is that a significant percentage of those powerful anthocyanins, the very reason you chose to eat the blueberries in the first place, are locked away. They cannot enter your circulation to perform their protective duties, from supporting your DNA to optimizing your blood vessels, and are simply escorted out of your body as waste. It's not a matter of dairy being an inherently negative food, but in this specific partnership, it acts as a molecular hijacker, preventing the health treasure from ever reaching its intended destination. It's a meal that promises much, but biochemically delivers little. The plot thickens with another breakfast and fruit salad staple, The banana. On its own, the banana is a celebrated food, a convenient source of essential nutrients like potassium, which is vital for heart health and fluid balance, and prebiotic fiber that nourishes our beneficial gut bacteria. It is, by all accounts, a healthy choice. However, the banana holds a hidden enzyme, a biochemical weapon called polyphenol oxidase, or PPO. In the plant world, this enzyme is part of a brilliant defense system. When the fruit's skin is breached, when it is cut, bruised, or bitten, PPO is released. It rapidly interacts with the plant's own polyphenols and oxygen in the air, causing the characteristic browning we see on a cut apple or banana. This browning is essentially a chemical scar, sealing the wound and making the fruit less palatable to invaders. The problem arises when we intentionally combine this highly active enzyme with other polyphenol rich foods. When you place blueberries and a banana into a blender, you are creating the perfect storm for nutritional destruction. The blending process ruptures all the plant cells, flooding the mixture with this PPO enzyme. It immediately goes to work, not just on the banana's own compounds, but on the delicate, precious anthocyanins from the blueberries. It aggressively oxidizes them, fundamentally changing their molecular structure and rendering them biologically inert. The speed of this degradation is astonishing. Some studies have shown that creating a smoothie with a high PPO fruit like a banana can obliterate the measurable flavonoid content by over 80% within minutes. You are drinking the fiber, the sugar, the potassium. But the unique medicinal signature of the blueberry, its antioxidant and anti inflammatory power, has been effectively erased before you even take your first sip. This isn't toxicity in the poisonous sense, but a toxic outcome in that it destroys the very health potential you were seeking, a form of nutritional self sabotage. Finally, we must examine the pervasive influence of our modern cooking habits, especially the application of high heat. We've come to incorporate blueberries into a vast array of cooked foods, infused into warm muffins, baked into pies and crumbles, simmered down into sugary jams and sauces for pancakes or desserts. We feel virtuous adding a superfood to these treats, believing we are enhancing their nutritional profile. But the delicate, complex molecular architecture of anthocyanins is exquisitely sensitive to thermal degradation. Unlike some nutrients, such as the lycopene in tomatoes, which famously becomes more bioavailable after being cooked, anthocyanins begin to break down and lose their structural integrity and therefore their function when exposed to prolonged high temperatures typical of baking. The intense heat of an oven doesn't just soften the berry, it denatures its most valuable assets. What remains is primarily sugar, fiber, and the memory of a superfood. Recognizing these three common combinations dairy, high PPO fruits like bananas, and high heat processing is not meant to instill a sense of fear. It is about illuminating the hidden, nuanced reality of nutrition so we can make sure the goodness we eat is the goodness that is actually delivered to our cells. Strategic eating, understanding the problem is the first step, but the truly transformative part of this journey lies in the solution. This is where we move from a place of passive consumption to one of active, intelligent participation in our own health. This is the very essence of culinary medicine. It is not about a doctrine of restriction, it is a philosophy of strategic amplification. It's about taking these magnificent, nature given ingredients and assembling them in a way that protects, preserves, and even enhances their inherent power. To start, we directly address the neutralizing combinations. For the legions of smoothie drinkers, the alternative is both delicious and biochemically sound. Instead of dairy milk, you can pivot to a wide world of plant based milks. Oat milk, for example, brings a natural creaminess and soluble fiber. Almond milk is a lighter, low calorie option. Soy milk offers complete protein. None of these contain the casein proteins that bind and sequester the blueberry's polyphenols. To replace the banana's role in providing creaminess and body to a smoothie, we have superior options that add to, rather than subtract from, the nutritional value. A quarter of a ripe avocado can be blended in to provide a velvety texture, along with a powerful dose of healthy monounsaturated fats and fiber that support heart health. A tablespoon of soaked chia seeds or a small handful of soaked cashews will also create a thick, creamy consistency while adding their own portfolio of benefits like omega 3 fatty acids and essential minerals. With these simple swaps, you are not just preventing a negative interaction by removing the dairy and banana, you are actively creating a more nutritionally dense and synergistic meal. You are building a breakfast that works for you, not against you, at a molecular level. From there, we can elevate our strategy beyond mere avoidance and into the realm of active enhancement. Instead of pairing blueberries with biochemical antagonists, we can learn to pair them with their molecular allies, foods that act as bodyguards and amplifiers. One of the most potent and accessible allies for the anthocyanins in blueberries is vitamin C. The chemical reason for this is that vitamin C is a powerful antioxidant in its own right, and it functions as a stabilizing agent for other delicate compounds. When present, it can effectively sacrifice itself to quench the oxidative activity of enzymes like PPO, acting as a buffer against oxidative stressors in the digestive environment. Think of vitamin C as a personal security detail for the anthocyanins, ensuring they arrive safely at the intestinal wall for absorption. This is as simple as squeezing the juice of half a lemon, a lime, or even a bit of orange into your smoothie or fruit bowl. This small act is a scientifically backed insurance policy for the bioactives. Another crucial ally is the addition of healthy fats. Foods like walnuts, ground flaxseed, and chia seeds do something remarkable for nutrient absorption. The healthy fats they contain can help to moderate the speed at which your stomach empties its contents into the intestine. This slower, more measured pace provides a longer window of opportunity for the absorption of nutrients, including the water soluble polyphenols from the blueberries. It prevents a flash flood of nutrients that might overwhelm the transport systems, allowing for a more complete uptake. And of course, these fats bring their own team of benefits. The omega 3s in walnuts and flax are profoundly anti inflammatory and supportive of brain health, while the fiber in chia and flax supports digestion. This is how you build a true superfood meal. You create a symphony of benefits that work in beautiful harmony with the circulatory and antioxidant effects of the blueberries. You're no longer eating single notes, you're conducting an orchestra. The deepest and perhaps most important dimension of this strategic approach relates to nourishing the vast invisible ecosystem within you, your gut microbiome. As we move past the age of 60, scientific research clearly shows that the diversity and robustness of our gut bacteria can begin to decline. This is not a trivial change. It has far reaching consequences for the strength of our immune system, the clarity of our minds, and our overall metabolic health. The polyphenols in foods like blueberries are a primary source of nourishment for our most beneficial gut microbes. In fact, a large portion of these anthocyanins are designed to travel undigested all the way to our colon, where they serve as a preferred food source for crucial bacteria like Akkermansia muciniphila and species of bifidobacterium. When these helpful microbes feast on blueberry polyphenols, they metabolize them and transform them into entirely new, powerful, health promoting compounds, which we call postbiotics. These postbiotics, such as short chain fatty acids like butyrate, are then absorbed by our bodies and are biological superstars. Butyrate is the primary fuel for the cells lining our colon, keeping our gut barrier strong and healthy. It also enters our circulation where it exerts powerful anti inflammatory effects throughout the body, even in the brain. So, when you make a choice, like blending blueberries with a banana, that destroys the anthocyanins upstream, you are doing more than just losing out on direct antioxidant benefits. You are effectively starving the most helpful members of your own internal ecosystem. You are denying them the raw materials they need to produce the very compounds that protect you from the inside out. Therefore, eating strategically is an act of stewardship for this inner garden, ensuring your food completes its magnificent journey. This knowledge is not designed to be a burden, to add complexity or anxiety to the simple, beautiful act of eating. It is intended to be the very opposite, a tool of liberation. When you understand the quiet, invisible dance of molecules in your food, you are empowered. You are no longer just a consumer, following trends or labels with a sense of hopeful uncertainty. You become the conscious, informed conductor of your own health. Your kitchen transforms from a place of mere meal preparation into your personal laboratory for well being. With every mindful choice, Every strategic pairing, you are engaging in a direct and powerful dialogue with your own cells, skillfully guiding your body back towards its innate default state of vitality and strength. That is a power no one can take from you, and it is a deep foundational piece that is available with every single bite. This is incredible information. Be honest. Which of these innocent combinations has been a regular part of your diet until now? I'll go first. The blueberry banana smoothie was my go to.